All right. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello. Hopefully you can hear me all right. Let's check in with the sound quality. I believe we have a Sarah Turner. Hello, Sarah. Just let me know if you can hear my voice all right, if the sound quality is okay. Just a little thumbs up or something. Hello, I wave to you. I see a little button. I wave. Excellent. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I waved back. Okay. Hello, Julia. How are you? Thank you for being here. And let me know if you can hear the sound quality. You can just give me a thumbs up. I see a thumbs up floating. Excellent, excellent, wonderful. So it looks like sound is in play. Awesome. Okay. All right. Well, I think we will get, oh, it's a bit scratchy. Thanks for letting me know. Let's see how this works. Is that any better? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Is it any better? Is it any better? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Is it still a bit scratchy? Oh, you're probably commenting and I can't see it. Nope, nope. No other comments. Well, anybody else? Can you hear the sound quality and let me know if it's gotten any better or if it's still scratchy? Just doing a little sound check here. It's better now? Okay. Can't understand you. Can understand you, but it's not great. That's just my natural way of speaking, actually. I usually wake up in the morning and take a mouthful of marbles just to make sure that I'm inarticulate. All right. And let's pull this out just a touch more. How about that? Is that any better? I just pulled the mic out. Eli Gordon says better. Excellent. Okay, so I'm finding the sort of the optimal orbital position of the microphone here. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. That's a really big help. It really helps a lot, so thank you very much. Okay. Okay, I think we're ready to go. And as usual, I can, at the distance where I'm at, I can make out hands going up. I think I can make out hands going up. If the sound quality drops, I'll just check in with the video. Halfway through, I'll check in for comments. That's the best that I can do. Okay, and if the sound quality is good, you can give me some thumbs up. That will help. And if I don't see thumbs up, then I'll make sure to check the comments for sound quality. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. This is day 5 of our 30-day challenge of Unleash the Dragon for the Qianlong 6 Animals Kung Fu. It's, again, such a delight to be here. Thank you. It's a privilege and an honor to be able to share all this material. So today we are going to do day 2 of our Tiger. I didn't get a chance last night to post up additional homework or exercises. I'll double it today, catch up for yesterday and add on for today's. And we're going to review the bows, especially for Tiger. Maybe we'll toss in Panther and Boa as well. And we'll have our sandwich. We'll do our Tiger bow. We'll do an alignment exercise, a different one, still focusing on the hips. And then we'll sandwich it on the other side with doing the Tiger bows again. That way you can compare the difference in alignment for your body. And I'll fill in a little bit more detail about the practice as a whole, how you can tap into each of the animals a little bit more by tapping into their personality preferences. And what I want to also start off by saying, is also explain a little bit about the structure for the 30-day challenge, why it is the way it is. So we're doing 3 10-day segments, and it's based off of a general principle or practice in Taoist alchemy, which this martial art has its roots steeped in. It's part of the Taoist alchemy sort of tradition. And you'll find this in Tai Chi as well. There's usually a division of 3 stages. They go by various names, but the first stage usually has to do, sometimes it's called rectifying in Tai Chi. We call it purifying, and other systems have different names for it. But basically, what you do in the first stage is you're learning movements, but the learning of the movements is also a vehicle for learning about whatever habits that you have in your posture that you can unwind. So it's purification of your physical posture, and it's also the sort of purification of your attitudinal posture. You're checking in with your best inner practices, if you will, and you're just noticing any kind of negative habits you may have, and sometimes you change them. Sometimes you can deliberately change them, but most of the time you simply watch the bad habit, and just by being observed, it tends to dissipate. So that's usually the first stage. What you're doing in the rectifying is learning good physical and psychological postural habits. You're learning to realign. Then the second stage goes by, again, different names. I like to call it articulation. Other systems, they call it, they do call it purifying or empowerment. But basically, it's where before you were sort of taking out negative things, now you're adding positive things. You're building strength. So you're learning the movements with more nuance, more articulation, and you get stronger, and you develop more, and you break down the component elements, and you study them individually, and you put them back together. And we're going to do that in the next stage with the animals. So we're going to look a bit more closely at the moving parts for each animal, and put those moving parts together. And then hopefully, as we do that, you'll get stronger in each of them. So that's the second stage. And then the third stage is the energizing stage. This is where you've got all of the working parts in place, and now you're building energy with them, and you start to integrate them together. It's a much more complex, and where the second stage is like learning to play in the individual notes of the animals. In the third stage, you start to play the chords of the animals. So you start to integrate the animals together, which is the dragons. So I wanted to explain the structure of our 30-day challenge. So this first set, we are learning to clear out sort of postural habits that we may not be aware of. And that lays the foundation for the more powerful work and the more delving work that we do in the second stage. And then it sets the stage also for the third stage, the third phase, where you start combining elements together. There's a lot more synergy. And in these traditions, you never really graduate from the first phase. You always go back to your basics, right? So you start off with the first phase, and you get that, and then at some point you graduate to the second phase, but then you keep revisiting the first. And so you do that, and then at some point you graduate to the third phase, and then you keep revisiting the previous two. So it's constantly a network of cycles within cycles, if you will. So the stages here are designed to give you that feel. Cool. So let's get into tiger. So let's review our tiger bow. So again, you take a moment, feel your body, and let's take the before picture. Feel your weight settling into your feet. Feel your feet driving roots and tendrils into the ground, into the tectonic plates of the earth, and like you're drawing energy up from the earth. And take a kinesthetic snapshot of your body from bottom to top, from the toes to the top of your head. Where's your energy? In your feet, in your shins, your knees, your thighs, your pelvis, your rib cage, and the spine. Feel the internal organs, your collarbones, your neck bones. Feel your arms hanging off of your shoulder blade sockets. And feel your skull like a bowling ball balanced on the top of the pyramid of your your cervical vertebra. Relax the back of your eyes, your tongue, your jaw. And feel what your body feels like. And for tiger, you settle into your musculature, the big mirror muscles. And drawing in energy into your belly on the first in-breath, all in one shot. Then on the second in-breath, bring in more energy. And then turn the feet in and high-pressured breathing. Till the very last drop of air. Burn the space around you by your mere presence. And triangles. Breathing deep. You roll that grapefruit of energy, of breath, up your body till the very last drop of air. And then the triangles, breathe in, and then flip the triangle, exhale. And stand. And I see some comments come in, so I'm going to go check in. Hopefully the sound has been okay. Great. That looks good. Good. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Hello, Joy. Hello, Kimberly. Hello, Pamela. Hello, Sarah. Thank you all for being here. So that's the tiger. That's the tiger bow. And let's just do it one more time. Another little set of 3, and let's, because it takes a while sometimes for, especially when you're first starting off, to warm up into it, to get everything together. So with the tiger, you're moving in resistance, high tension resistance. It's like you're in quick drying cement, and you have to work and really exert effort to move in every direction all at once. And the way that I like to think about it is I'm in a cube, and I'm paying attention to every plane in that cube. And I have to push out in all directions at the same time. And so while my hands are pushing forward, I'm also pushing back. While my feet are pressing down and screwing into the earth, I'm also, with the back of my head and the top of my head, with the back of my 7th cervical and the top of my head, I'm pushing up. So I push all 6 planes of space out away from me. And that creates the resistance. So just as much as I'm pushing out this way, I'm also pushing out that way, as well as pushing something with my elbow in. It's as if you're like Gulliver on Lilliput, and all the Lilliputians have like tied strings around every part of your body, like you've been like knit together. And you have to like break free from all those little threads. That's what it's like. So you have that kind of hard tension, contractile tension. So let's try it again with the bow and moving in that way, in that high, isometric, resistant way. And same thing with the breath. As much as I'm pushing forward, I'm also pushing down. Okay? All right. And that's good. Let's try that first. And again, no apologies. Your presence and the quality of your focus and concentration singes the space around you. This is tiger. Ready? And center. You're building up energy like a pressure cooker, drawing up energy from the earth, building, containing that energy. And fill up, super fill up, and then exhale. One more time. And triangles. And flip. And stand. Now take another kinesthetic snapshot of your body. Feel what you feel like. So I'm feeling a little bit more even front to back. Side to side, yeah, not bad. It's kind of like a blind spot in my corner here. Feeling generally warmer. Just notice what you notice. Okay, so that's the tiger bow. And so that's our first layer of the sandwich. And now we get to the meat or tofu part layer of the sandwich. And we're going to do an alignment exercise. And we're going to be on our knees. So if you have a hard floor, you may want to get like, a blanket, a pillow, I don't know, dog, a boyfriend, grandmother, something. Put under your knees so that put under your knees so that you're comfortable, whatever works for you. And we're going to do some work for connecting the hips to the legs and to the upper torso. So I'll give you a little count of 5. And actually, let me just check in while you're getting your pillow or your blanket. Great. Hello. Great. Good stuff. Okay. So let's get started. Everything looks fine. And again, if there's a problem with the sound, just let me know. I'll check in and hopefully I'll see the comment. So this is a exercise to help connect your hip action to your legs and to your especially lower spine and the rest of your spine. So, anything else? Yeah, so let's do this. So we're coming down here on all fours and just hang out. Just relax. And you just let your spine just drop. You're not doing anything like dramatic or particular. You're not humping. You're not like doing the cat or dog stretch or anything. You're just relaxing and hanging out. And if you ever need to take a break, just take a break. Or if you need to like just shift your posture, go for it. Take care of yourself. And what we're going to do is we are going to turn our feet into windshield wipers. All right? So you're here, and it's like you're a dog wagging your tail. That's right. 25 years of education, and this is what I look like. All right, so side to side. All right? Just relax. And just you're just rotating from the thighs. So it's not the prettiest of images, but it's as if your kneecap was like a drill bit, and you're drilling in one direction, then drilling in the other. So you want to stay on top of your own. You want your hips to stay on top of their own kneecaps. And again, you want like a pillow or something. I hope you can see. I'll change the angle actually just a touch. So keep going. And there we go. That's a bit better. Okay, good. So there you go. That's better. So you're windshield wiping with the feet, it's up back to back. The toes are flat on the ground. You just hands flat. Okay, good. And then just take a little rest. Just feel what that feels like. Child pose, or just rest on your back, on your calves. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to wag the legs. And when your feet go to the left, your body goes to the right. And when your feet go to the right, your body goes to the left. And they go together. So it's kind of like your spine and your calves make a straight line as your legs move side to side. And again, just relax. Everything else just relaxes. Let your head drop. I'm keeping my head up so that I don't destroy the mic or do something foolish. But just back and forth. Okay, good. And then just relax, hang out. And then we do the next exercise. What you're going to do is your legs are going to go in one direction and your head's going to go to meet them. So you're sort of creating the shape of a letter C in both directions with your head, your spine, and your legs. So you turn one direction to see your feet, and then you move your feet, and you look over the other side to see your feet there. And you go from one side to the other. So this is a basic alignment exercise. Just notice what your body feels like. Okay, good. And then we go back to neutral, where the body moves in the opposite direction from the feet. So your head and your spine make a straight line. And again, I hope that you have like something underneath your knees so that they don't hurt. Okay, good. All right, and then come up to a stand. Curl up one vertebra at a time. I am going to move the camera, and you just feel what your body feels like. How does your body feel differently from when you first got down to the ground? There we go. And just take a stand, feel what your body feels like. So for myself, what I'm feeling like is as though my spine is relaxing, as if I'm reclining in a chair, and I'm relaxing into the chair at my back, and then settling down as though each one of my vertebrae are resting onto my sacrum and onto my pelvis. So it's kind of like I'm feeling like this, like as though I'm in a reclining chair. Okay? So that's what it feels like to me, and you may have a different sensation. And I'm probably feeling like this because my normal habitual way is to do that. And you probably have a different kind of sensation. So just check in with yourself. One of the reasons there's a lot of really good reasons for doing that. And again, it's about connecting what the hips are doing and connecting them to the legs and connecting them to the upper torso. So that power that's generated from the legs more naturally and more, for lack of a better word, holistically, the power from the legs travels through the pelvis to the upper torso. This is the simplest explanation that I can, well, maybe I'll leave that for Python. We'll talk more about alignment when we get to Python because it's more about the skeletal system. So we'll do that. But basically, when you're moving in your hips, there's a lot of potential energies, potential directions you can go in at any given time, right? So your hips can go in one direction as your torso goes in the other, or perhaps you're moving, in a straight line, and maybe your hips shear to one side as your head, as the rest of your body works to keep your head at the same position in space. And this kind of action just helps you calibrate this motion and this motion, so that while you're walking, you don't shear or bevel in either direction too much, and your pelvis stays stable, and so that allows the maximal amount of force to travel through your legs, through your pelvis, into your torso. So that's what this exercise is about. And what it does is that it takes you through two extremes. One extreme of movement is this, and the other extreme of movement is that. So basically, letting your body go with your hips, and then letting your body go against your hips. And when you do both movement extremes, your brain goes, oh, well, if that's one extreme and this is the other, then I want to hang out in the middle and rest there. So your brain automatically rests in its functional center. So that's the idea behind that exercise, and really all of the exercises we do. And it's the hips, and it's your center of power, which is great to get aligned with anyway. And it's especially important for Tiger, because Tiger drives power from it, through its center. So hopefully you feel a little bit more rectified, a little bit more naturally and easily aligned. And take a moment, let's feel the Tiger again. And we'll do the bow. This is our layer, our outside layer of the sandwich. We'll do the bow and see how your body feels. And check into your musculature. And breathe in deep. A second time. And exhale. One more time. One more time. And breathe in, triangle. And exhale. Flip the triangle. And stand. And take a kinesthetic snapshot, see what it feels like. Okay, I'm just going to check in with the camera here, just make sure everything's okay, see if there's any new comments that I should be aware of. Nope, everybody's watching. Great. Oh, lovely comment. Thank you, Joy. After windshield wiper exercise, I feel more rooted into the earth. Excellent. This is why I do this. This is why you complete me. Thank you very much. Okay, good. All right. All right. Okay. I can't figure out why they never give me tenure. All right. So, so that's Tiger. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the personalities of the animals. So I'll write about this for tonight's delving exercise. And each of the different animals have, of course, different, besides their the aspect of consciousness they represent, they also have different personality preferences, different textural preferences, different favorite flavors, different favorite sights and sounds, movies, books, music. And one of the ways in which you can embrace and adopt the animal more fully is to adopt their preferences. So, for example, we've got our three here so far. We've got boa, panther, and tiger. And with tiger, it's about power, it's about the musculature, and it's linear and willful. Its power is its intention, its willpower. And in terms of its preferences, it likes steak and potatoes. In terms of music, it's like a brassy marching parade. In terms of movies, it's like simple hero versus bad guy, usually action hero kind of stuff, kind of music. And they're very simple. This is you can look at most physical trainers and gyms, and that kind of pumped up, let's go get them kind of energy, that's tiger in its rawness. And each of the animals have like different favorite professions that they would be drawn to. So those are the kind of qualities of tiger. In terms of clothing, it would be like really just straight, simple business attire, and tiger keeps things neat. It's just, it's tidy, it's organized. It's military discipline, not in an overbearing way in your personal life, but yeah, it's rules and regulations. Tiger loves them. And boa, complete opposite. The boa, in terms of, actually, no, let's do panther first. With panther, it's like, it's hedonism. It's like, I love to say it, it's like, chocolate cheesecake and red meat, preferably at the same time. It's like, it's not just red wine, it's mead, The kind of music that it likes is any kind of folk music, but especially like Afro-Cuban music, heavy drumming interlaced, like really just driving percussion. The kind of, so that's the food, the music, kinds of movies or literature, sci-fi, fantasy. Again, symbolism that the subconscious loves to eat up. And with panther, it's like in terms of physical fitness, panther loves like extreme sports. Tiger's a little bit more like hockey, like really physical, really tough, but there's a goal and there's a team. So football and so on. And with panther, it's like, I'm going to like skydive out of a plane and then land on a mountain with my ski board and ski down. It's like extreme sports like that. If you have a relative who's like an adrenaline junkie, panther. Then you have boa. And boa, again, we're talking like Tai Chi, the soft, billowing energy of breath moving through your body. The kind of foods it eats, it doesn't give a damn. What boa does is it consumes the energy of whatever food is in front of it. Preferably, a juicing, like a freshly juiced, vegetable drink of some kind. But even before it takes in the juice, it'll absorb the energy of that juice and then drink it so as to maintain balance in the natural world, just like the snakes, because that's the right thing to do. So you consume the energy of the thing first, and then you consume the physical manifestation so as to maintain balance. Sound, music, silence. Silence is nice. And in the absence of silence, chanting, like Om, Gregorian chanting, or a cappella, any kind of vocal, airy kind of sound. When we were younger, in my time, it was Sarah McLachlan, Lorena McKinnett, but any kind of Gregorian chants, the Tibetan Buddhist monks, those kinds of qualities of sound. Clothing, boa loves light, like scarves or shawls, airy, loose clothing. Panther, leather, baby, leather, satin, and silk. If it was breathing, I'll wear it. So that's very much panther's attitude. Okay, and so I'll give a little bit more of those kinds of details in the announcements and the delving work later tonight. And again, you're welcome to try those out. It's a really great way of building the textures. As you build those textures, as you build that repertoire of textures up, it informs your movement. And it's part of the rectification, it's part of your attitudinal balance. You also absorb, you face some of those textures that you might have a bias against. It's like, I don't really like horror movies. I'm speaking for myself. Can't stand them. Once in a while I'll watch one because that's what Panther likes. And I just like rub up against that discomfort or rub up against that tension. And then I use the breathing to calm through it. So you can do that with any of the animals. Some people won't like something about tiger. Some people will find something about boa uncomfortable. But you try it on and find what parts of you can eat that experience. And as you do that, you make yourself bigger. So that's the practice of Taoist alchemy and the practice of the Qinlong and the 6 animals Kung Fu. All right, so that's it for today. We'll tune in again tomorrow. Same former time, same channel, former time, so 4:30 tomorrow. And for now, thank you very much. Bye-bye.